Okay, so if you haven't been living under a rock for the past few weeks, then you most likely heard of this anime called Numberjacks. Recently, Tower of God has been exploding in popularity, so I did what any other sensible person would do. I decided to watch it. And let me just make this clear, I won't blindly hate the anime just because it's popular, neither will I praise it without any reasoning whatsoever. Usually when shows are overhyped or overrated, they will of course get a lot of people that will hate it, only for the reason that it is popular. And in my opinion, you should never judge an anime because of the community, but rather judge the anime itself, because at the end of the day, the community almost has nothing to do with the anime. Even in video games, I'm sure that everyone heard of Fortnite before, and let me tell you, the community is really cringy. But nonetheless, I still tried the game, and although it wasn't for me, I can see why people are addicted to it. And the game itself isn't inherently bad, so I'm really interested. What are your guys' thoughts about Tower of God? Haha, yes, I know it is a very original joke. But if you think about it, Bam isn't really a simp because the only person he actually knows is Rachel, and as any sensible person would do, he followed her because Bam only knew her. She basically taught him everything. Okay, I think I got too serious there. So what makes Tower of God special? Is that because it is a manhwa? Manhwa? I don't know how to pronounce it. And you guys might be asking yourselves, what is a manhwa? Well, don't worry you disgusting weeb, because with a simple Google search, we can find the answer. Okay, so according to the internet, a manhwa is a Korean comic, and no, it doesn't have anything to do with BTS.
BTS, the best boy band on earth. We rob you. Now on with the show. Ching chong, ping ling ching.
Hold it right there, losers. Nani? Bucket Street Boys?
So essentially, Tower of God is a Korean comic that got a Japanese anime adaptation, which was also subbed in English. Now that's some 9K IQ thinking right there. So in this video, I'll be reviewing every single episode of the Tower of God in... Of course, I won't be able to go in depth with this review, but nonetheless, I will try my best. And if you enjoyed this video, why not consider subscribing, because we are really close to our goal of 500 subscribers. The episode starts off with Bam, our protagonist, chasing Rachel. And from the get-go, I just hated Rachel for some reason. I don't know how to explain it, but I hate her. She basically ditched Bam so she can enter the tower in hopes to see the stars. So she's kinda like a budget Rapunzel. When Bam entered the tower, he was greeted by Hedon? I'll just call him Skull. He was greeted by Skull, the caretaker of the tower. He says if you want to see your budget Disney princess, you need to climb the tower. So Bam needs to complete the exam by destroying the black thing that is guarded by this huge fish dude. But before recklessly going in, he was interrupted by Yuri. She's a princess and she gave him the sword because he has a cute face? Don't ask me at this point. And with the sword, he managed to kill the fish dude, but unfortunately, he still couldn't destroy the black ball. And I think the skull dude was up to something here, cause he gave us a little smirk, so he might have rigged the test. Yuri's helper tells Bam to call the sword for help, and it turns out that the sword favors men, and it lends Bam her powers, because he has a cute face. And no, I am not joking. I guess there are some benefits of being a Chad. What I learned from this episode is that if you want an OP weapon, then you must have a cute face. Wait, how old is Bam?
FBI, open up!
Overall, I was really confused while watching this episode, but in a way, I was hooked. And I know a lot of people love that element of mystery, but I dislike it, cause I don't like thinking a lot. So yeah, overall this episode was decent. It's not anything to note about, so I give it 2.9 soaps out of 5. Okay, so let me just start off by saying that this episode was a huge improvement over the first, and I'm sure none of you heard that before. The episode starts off by showing us Bam in a grassy field. The announcer stated that they had to make a 3-man alliance before the time is over. and that they had to be touching each other's hands, and that is where the alligator dude, aka Rak, comes in. This character is shaping up to be my favorite character in the series. He's just so funny, and I know it's hard to believe that. Usually in shonen animes, the humor goes as follows. A guy gets angry, he starts to shout, X character gets scared, and that's about it. And while yes, I do see some similarities here, but something about it just makes me laugh. In this episode, we got to know a lot about the characters, and we sort of got an overall feel for the world. And probably the highlight of this episode is when the lizard woman was fighting with a guy that looks like Tanjiro. The animation was just fantastic. Same goes with the music, and I love how the characters look so unique. One issue a lot of people had with this anime is the art style, and in my opinion, this is one of the best things about the show. The art style is just so refreshing. Overall, this episode was pretty good, but I have one issue with this anime. Some of you might say it's a bit nitpicky, but I don't care. The OP is just underwhelming. Don't get me wrong, the song itself is fantastic, but I hate the fact that they ruined it by including a credit scene every 2 seconds, so basically it is just a slideshow. It could have been much better in my opinion. This episode gets 3.5 soaps out of 5. This episode was Kunz's episode. I just love the idea of, okay, we are done with this test, we have to move on to the next. It makes it so that the viewer never really gets bored. And I sometimes find myself trying to figure out the test, like with the characters, as if I am with them. Yes, I know it is very sad. The test was that they had to pick the right door within a specific time frame. And one creepy guy with a mask gave Kun a hint, and that hint is time. And here is where we begin to understand Kunz's past. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this name. It becomes immediately clear that this dude has some trust issues of some sort. And when the masked dude mentioned something about his past, he literally went rogue. Even when he entered the exam, it turns out that he actually met the instructor before, so we can assume that he was an important person, or at least a person with a high caliber. The problem with Kun is that he overthinks things. So how did they get through the riddle, you may ask? Rak literally just opened a door. If you think about it, Rak and Kun are like the total opposites. Rak goes by his instincts alone, and Kun thinks a lot. And here is where the sort of team element kicks in. In a sense, each team member covers each other's shortcomings. We got like the first round of the crown game. All in all, I give this episode a 4.98 soaps out of 5.678. Okay, I think I really need to swap with these scores. This episode starts off, well, you guessed it, with the crown game. And this is really the first major arc, or at least the first major test. In short, the crown game is kinda like a battle royale. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with Fortnite. The episode was jam-packed with action, and also we got to see more of the lizard woman. So, do you remember the sword that Bam received from Yuri? No. Lies. Okay, so apparently this sword has like 13 versions of it, and every single sword is named after a specific month, the Black March and the Green April. But what about Simp September? Please laugh. And at the end of the episode, we can see a person that clearly looks like a budget Rachel. So it turns out that she ditched him and went to another friend group, and it turns out that Kun can duplicate things with his suitcase. So that's cool. This is the last episode of the Crown Game arc, and let me tell you, this episode was epic. Rak was being awesome like always, and Kun is actually a genius. Not as smart as Rak, but he has a big brain. Okay, so it turns out that Kun was actually hiding people whom he saved from the first test, and they actually helped him out in this exam. The fact that he can bend the rules with his suitcase is just epic. And the rest of the episode was followed by some exciting fight scenes and Bam getting hit because he surprise wanted to save Goldilocks. And yes, that's it. It's 4 AM, give me a break dude, and I'm in my closet recording this and I'm really sweaty. That is basically the whole video. I'm really excited to see what the series has in store for us. I don't think Bam is the type of character that will develop in the first season, because I can't see him changing at all, at least not anytime soon. I think the other characters will grow more than Bam. So anyways, my name is Soap. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in another video. Like Thorkel? Why not join the most epic Discord server? Our new icon is actually animated. Look at this cute soap guy dancing. Who doesn't want to join this amazing Discord server? You can message me, share your spicy memes, and also talk with others in voice chat.